Hey, it's Saturday, and you know what that means. Well, if you're catching this video within the first couple hours that it goes live, hey, the raid boss is going on today. We got another one. It's a good one. It's a really gimmicky, but it's a really fun one. So we'll see, or I'm just excited to get to that one. So yeah, if you haven't seen this though, yeah, I had to get my little plug in for my raid boss, even though the videos haven't been doing that well, but. Hey, if you want to join us, though, link in the description. Click it, join it. I'll send out a little thing, whatever. There'll be information on how to join, the arena ID and the password and everything. So if you want to join, come down and join. Otherwise, let's get to the matter at hand. We're back in the Everyone Is Here tournament. Most of us know what this is by now. 100 characters in a tournament each day on the channel. I upload a matchup, and then I talk about the two characters, and then we vote between one of the two down in the comments. So voting's a part of the rules. So there's a few more, so I'm just going to put them up on screen to run through real quick. And they are very simple. Rule 1 is for fun. That ultimately means you vote for who you want. You don't have to vote for who's necessarily more likely. Always vote for who you personally would rather have between the two characters. The other rules, though, you only get one vote per person. Now, how do you vote, though? Simple. Down in the comments, type the name of the character you're voting for. Simple. But do remember you only get one vote per person. However, if you happen to really like both characters or you're having a difficult time deciding who to vote for, well, you can vote for both. That's completely fine. Completely fine. But rest of the rules for, I guess, the tournament-wise, this is a double elimination tournament, meaning a character will have to lose 2 times overall before they are eliminated from the tournament. And then once we get to the results to determine the winner and loser of each individual match, if there happens to be a tie in the voting, gonna flip a coin on camera, fairest way to break a tie. And then each matchup, voting-wise, only lasts for just 1 week. So you have 7 days from when the episode first gets uploaded to get your votes in. If it comes in after that, doesn't count. Alright, those are the rules. Let's get to the rest of the matchup. Alright, so yeah, let's go over the results. So, results from the winner's bracket was, the matchup was Agumon from the Digimon series, who was taking on Mike Hagar from the Final Fight series, and this was pretty one-sided for the most part. I mean, Agumon ended up winning this one, 41 votes to Mike Hagar's 11. I mean, 11's, yeah, it's not that great to be honest, but hey, yeah, Agumon ended up winning, advances to the next round of the winner's bracket. However, Mike is still alive. Don't fear. If you want that mayor to come back into the fight, you are allowed to vote for him. He will be back sooner rather than later. So, yeah, that's the result. So, we'll move to the matchup, which is a pretty interesting one. Pretty interesting one. And you could say it's kind of like, you could say it's like a battle of potential Echo Fighters in a way. Even though, when I view these two characters, I don't think they're Echo Fighters whatsoever. They have enough uniqueness to where they stand out and become their own true fighter. So the matchup, Dixie Kong from the Donkey Kong series. So yeah, we all know her by now. And her opponent, Shadow the Hedgehog from, well, I guess the Sonic series, the Shadow series. Does the Shadow series count as his own series? Like, I know he had his own game, but does that count as his own? I don't know, whatever. But that's the matchup. So let's start things off. So Dixie Kong. Oh, Dixie Kong. One of the last, I'll say it every time she's in a matchup, one of the true last remaining Nintendo All-Stars that is still not playable in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I mean, she's been around for decades. She's been a playable character. She's been the main character of her series. She's been in spin-off games. She's in what, a Mario baseball game, right? Was that one? I think that one was for the Wii. So, I mean, like, she's been around. She is a couple spirits in, and I think you can even you can enhance her spirit in Smash Ultimate as well. So, which becomes a legend spirit. So, I mean, in the eyes of Nintendo, I mean, if they're looking for more first-party characters, if they're looking for first-party female characters, I mean, don't look any farther. Dixie Kong is right there, just waiting to jump out of the barrel, right? Ready to just kind of celebrate, just kind of round out the Donkey Kong Country series, the Donkey Kong series overall. Me personally, and there's quite a bit of other people that feel the same way, if you put Dixie Kong in, the DK franchise is perfectly repped, and you're good. We already have Donkey. We got Diddy. We finally got K. Rool. Let's finally get Dixie Kong. Let's round out the Donkey Kong Country series perfectly, right? So, Moveset, how does she work? Yeah, again, there's always going to be those comparisons that she could be, I'm going to work on that. But there's always the the comparison that she should be just an Echo Fighter of Diddy. It can work, but again, same as Shadow. She has way too much unique factors and her own sort of personality to her moveset and just her character overall that it'd be a little bit of a shame if she just ends up being an Echo Fighter. And I mean, if it happens, I mean, I guess she's in the roster then if that happens, but let's talk about the moveset. So first and foremost, Dixie Kong, she's always got the trademark ponytail. You have to have that. You could use that for the grab if you really want to. Have the ponytail come out and like wrap around the opponent and kind of brings them in. Then you throw them whichever direction you want to throw them. Of course, it could be the little jab combo, you know, AAA attack. Rapidly press it. It could just be, maybe it's even like a, I don't know, like how the rapid jabs. You know, if you got a few characters that are just kind of like rapid tap. I don't know. That could kind of work for Dixie Kong and her ponytail. What else could you do with that? You definitely got... she spins it around in a copter. I mean, that's simple. Kind of use it as a hover mechanic. Maybe one of her moves, she could kind of like spin around in place and like the ponytail kind of maybe... It's going to sound weird, but maybe it kind of enlarges a little bit and it's kind of like just a big... You just... do a 360 spin and, you know, ponytail is going to have a decent amount of range around it, you know, so you can use that. She does have I think for a final smash, this one has always kind of been my idea. Put her friends, the Donkey Kong Country, the friends. So you got like Rambi the Rhino, which kind of would be, I don't know if you could use, I mean, you could definitely use them for the final smash. Jumps on and then Rambi just kind of charges across the screen or whatever. Maybe you could even use that as a side special potentially. Of course, you're still going to always have the potential, I don't want to say cloned, but similar moves to Diddy Kong. Maybe the dash attack might be a little bit similar where Diddy Kong run. I think it's still his dash attack, isn't it? Doesn't Diddy have like, I haven't played Diddy in a long time, but doesn't he have an animation where he's running and he kind of does like a little cartwheel for like a dash? I think that's his dash attack. So maybe Dixie Kong could kind of have something similar to that. She's going to use her fist and her feet obviously for her attacks as well. So she's got a bubblegum gun. You could use that as a neutral special. So you got projectiles. You got the hair getting in there, the ponytail. You have to use. If you don't use that, you're not doing the character right. I guess if you don't do the ponytail, she's most likely would be an Echo Fighter. Still works, but unique fighter makes much more sense. So Dixie Kong, she's got some potential. I mean, there's some people that say, how about get you know, the bongos in there. Doesn't she play the guitar in one of the games? Was that Tropical Freeze? She plays the guitar. So maybe kind of a music-y based moveset. I don't know if that works too well, but I don't know. It could be other options. So, yeah, potential definitely there. Again, one of the last remaining true Nintendo All-Stars that is still not playable in the roster. So, let's move to your opponent, though. How about another icon in gaming? Shadow the Hedgehog, right? And if there's any series, let me rephrase that. If there's any third-party series that deserves a second rep, it is the Sonic series. Because in the 90s, I mean, it was always Mario versus Sonic, right? That was the big rivalry, Nintendo versus Sega. And you're like, if you were around gaming then, it was like, all right, that'll never happen. They would never be in the same game. They're always going to kind of compete against each other through the means of their own games. And then all of a sudden in Brawl, Sonic came up out of nowhere and was still one of the best days in Smash history, right? Sonic actually got into Smash Bros. He could actually fight Mario. That was awesome. So Shadow, continuing with the Sonic thing here. The franchise, it's had a playable rep with Sonic in, if you really want to get into it, 4 straight games, but it's Wii U 3DS is essentially the same game, but Wii U 3DS, Brawl, and Ultimate now. How does the Sonic series still only have just the 1 rep? I mean, Tails, Shadow, Eggman, Silver, Knuckles, other people, Amy, Rose, if you want. I mean, they deserve a second rep. Come on. I mean, Nintendo and Sega, they work extremely well together. We always get the, I don't think it's a yearly thing, but every couple years at least? Don't we get the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games? I guess that's every 2 years? Because don't you have Winter and Summer Olympics? So every 2 years or whatever. But, I mean, you still got that crossover, which is, as a gaming fan, Can anybody like remember back to if you played Smash 64 when it like was first a thing, when it first happened? There was so many people that were just excited by the fact that we got to have Mario and Pikachu cross over into the same game. At that time, that was completely mind-blowing. That was like, how is this even happening? This doesn't make any sense. They're two different things, but we want to see them in the same game, and then we finally get that. And then, of course, we know the story. The roster and all the characters have expanded ever since. I mean, Shadow, right? Shadow's up there as well in terms of not just popularity in terms of gaming, but definitely amongst the Smash community as well. One of the top requested assist trophies to finally get that bump up into playable status. Again, you could use the same argument as Dixie Kong. Could work as an Echo Fighter, but still, it makes too much sense to kind of just have him as his own unique fighter. He's got his own moves. He's got his own style. He's got his own this and that. I suppose if you wanted to kind of make him like a semi-ish Echo Fighter, share a couple moves, maybe, I don't know if movement speed would be a little bit, like Sonic is extremely fast. Maybe Shadow could still be a fast character, but maybe it takes him just a little bit longer to get going, like running across the stage or something like that. So he starts slow and then he like picks up the speed, whatever that might be. I don't, like Shadow though, he's an icon. He's an icon. Shadow the Edgehog, right? The ultimate life form. What could you do with him? I mean, there's a lot you could do with him. I mean, here's a few options on screen. Black Tornado, Spin Kick. Of course, you're going to get probably Spin Dashes, something like that. You know, if you're going to go kind of like a semi-echo route of the character. But, I don't know, both these characters, I kind of feel like they've kind of earned their spot. Especially Dixie Kong being first party. How are you still not playable? But I love Shadow. I definitely want to see the Sonic series get a second playable rep. But it's hard to go against Dixie Kong for me. So, for me, I'm voting Dixie Kong in this one. She's got my vote just because she's earned it for quite a long time now. She was supposed to be playable in the Forbidden 7, right, for Brawl, but that didn't ever happen, so kind of sucks, but I don't know. Dixie Kong gets my vote. Let me know who you guys are voting for in the comments. Shadow, Dixie, or both. All are good options. So, sneak peek for Monday's matchup. 139. The matchup we will have is going to be Lana from, I guess, Hyrule Warriors Legend of Zelda series, and her opponent, the last remaining Resident Evil character, Jill Valentine. So that's the matchup, and then we will get the results for... We'll get the results for either Akira Howard or Scorpion. One of them wins, the other loses and goes to the loser bracket. Anyway, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.